We got up before dawn just to bring you
Top of the morning from beautiful downtown Baltimore.
Hi, top of the morning.
Top of the morning to all of you. Hi, top of the morning. Top of the morning.
Is fantastic. I want to salute the artists who are here tonight, who have done such an amazing job. I think they're going to love the show. How many artists are in the room? Yeah, my pal Gary Pan.
You know, Brittany, I really don't have anything intelligent to say after this. It's just had a wonderful time. And I hope the show does make you smile and laugh and makes you feel nice. I came into this last year, and everyone had a great time, so I think you're going to have a great one today. Thanks for Rebecca, thanks for the museum, thanks for Baltimore. I think you feel very well.
We shall see.
The lighting's so good.
And I can keep smiling as long as they're lasting.
Well, the book is written by Kinney, who played Mimi on the Drew Carey Show, and Cindy Ratzloff, who was instrumental in marketing the South Beach diet. And I'm Greg from the Ivy Bookshop, and I'm glad to be here selling the book.
Okay, thank you. And is Mimi going to be here, right?
She is here, yeah. She's speaking at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I think that truly the best thing about being on TV is that when people meet you in person, they just think you've lost a lot of weight. TV, honest to God, just makes you look so fat. And that's why if you ever run into any of the actresses who play the ingenue things, they're just really, they're the size of this. Because it's about the camera, the camera. So I haven't really lost any weight. I always did, but if you want to think I lost a lot of weight, go ahead. This is my best friend, Cindy Ratzlaff. That's her real name, Ratzlaff. People always ask her how to pronounce her name, and I say mice giggle and rats laugh. So that's how you know. And we've known each other since college. We're both from Wisconsin. And so anybody else? Nobody else? Okay, that's scary. But when I first got on the Drew Carey Show, of course I didn't really plan on being an actress, and I was so thrilled when I first got on there. And then within the first couple of weeks of being on the show, I thought, oh my God, I have the most trite job in the entire world. This is so, I should be off with Mother Teresa in India, eating bad food and helping children, and then I'd lose all kinds of weight and it would be really great. And I go, no, that's not the point. You should be doing something really big and heavy and this and that. And I was kind of freaked because I was just on TV, which seemed so foolish. And someone had given me a book of inspirational stories, and I said, I'm going to open this book, and whatever story I point to, that's the one I need to hear. And I opened it, and it was a story about a woman whose son had been burned over 80% of his body. And every day she would come to visit him in the hospital, and she would come with a story about something that had happened to her that day, and she would make it into the best and funniest story she could. And not only did her son and all the other children around him, but all the nurses and the doctors would look forward to her visit every day. And the end of the story was, so God bless the comedy makers among us. And of course, by that time I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. That was my job. That I feel is still my job, is to be funny, because we need comedy. We need to laugh and smile. And I just want to thank you for inviting me, and of course I dragged Cindy with me. But the reason that I'm here, and the reason that Cindy and I wrote the book, Queen of Your Own Life, the grown-up woman's guide to claiming happiness and getting the life you deserve, is because one night I went on the internet to find out why my feet were getting hot. Just my feet. Nothing else in my body, just my feet every night outside. They were just hot. And I went online, and what came up was site after site that said, now that you're a crone, you must go off by yourself and have a croning ceremony. And I thought, well, okay, maybe I don't know what a crone is. I'd certainly heard women say, well, I'm looking forward to my crone years. And I thought, well, maybe I just don't understand. So I looked it up, and it meant exactly what I thought it meant. It's a derogatory term based on the French word carrion, which means dead flesh. And it's a hag, shrew, ugly old woman. And that wasn't enough for me. So I went on my computer, I went in my dictionary in Microsoft Word, and it said all those same things, but then the nail in the coffin was, it said, any woman over 40. And I thought, oh, okay, great. So I meet Cindy, we go off on this, I was telling someone before, we both have men in our lives who either don't like to travel or they don't like to travel with us. We're not sure. And so I like to say that I've been to some of the most romantic cities in the world with Cindy. And that year we saved our money and we were meeting in Prague, which was beautiful. It was December, that was the only time I could go. So we're in Prague, it's December, we meet up, we're at this restaurant, we're looking across the river at the castle over on the hill, and I give her the bad news, and I say, hey, we're crones. And she's like, oh, that's right, we're cronies. And I'm like, no, that's men with beer in a boat. Okay? We're crones. We're crones. It's exactly what you think it means. And so surprisingly, she didn't want to be a crone either. And we're sitting there, and we're looking at this castle, and we say, you know, if man is the king of his castle, are we the crone in the corner? What is that about? No, we want to be the queen of our own life. Because we thought, you know, we're at the midpoint of our lives. And what with science and technology, we're going to live to be very old. And for the last half of our lives, we did not want to be known as crones. We did not want to be known as the ones with the dead flesh over in the corner. And so we thought, okay, we're going to have a crowning ceremony together. And that's what we had every night when we were in Prague. And we based it on a party that I have every year, New Year's. And we asked each other these two questions every night. And sometimes we were liquored up, you know. It was Prague. Sometimes we were on Pilsner and goulash, and sometimes we were just on champagne and goose. You know, but we would say, what do you want to let go or banish from the first half of your life that no longer works? And what do you want to keep that's still working? And we asked each other that every night until we purged it. And what we wanted to banish was feelings of low self-esteem, feelings of not being enough, feelings of not being loved or lovable, and high spiky heels. Because they hurt like hell. And if we could wear them, we would, but they look great on you. And what we wanted to keep was our sense of adventure. That every day was a new adventure, and we wanted to keep our sense of humor. Because that's what got us through our lives. And I think that, so maybe we're in our second act now, and that's the Queen Act, but I'm thinking maybe the third act might be all about being the goddess. And it's all the same thing, because you know how lately, in the last couple of years, there was this rumor that the Dalai Lama had said it was going to be Western women who were going to save the world. And I believe that's true. And the way that I believe that we're going to save it is by saving ourselves and every woman around us. And we're going to do that by not embodying the stereotype of the catty woman, you know, like your shoes. No. We're going to embody that by sharing our stories, because that's what we found out. You know, everybody assumes, I used to have a friend that would say to me, oh, you've been in 2 movies with Robert De Niro, what could be wrong in your life? I'm like, everything. I mean, everything, because it's a choice. It's a choice that we get to make. And so I've made the choice, and Cindy's made the choice, to be the queen goddess in our life, and to share our story, and to say, and we always pick a word every year. Last year the word was clarity. We wanted to be clear about when we were feeling bad about ourselves and when we were feeling good, and we wanted to share that. I mean, if everybody thinks that, you know, when you're on TV you have no problems, and that your life is great, and you're rich, and you're fun, and fine, and everything, well, that's wrong. I have all the same problems. Cindy's extremely successful marketing genius. If you've ever heard of the South Beach diet, it was because of her. I mean, she's my fault. It's her fault. She's so smart. But we realized that there's great healing and comfort in finding out that you're not alone, that we are all exactly alike. And if we understand that, and we understand that we can reach out to each other and to share the good and the bad, that's a way to heal. And in healing ourselves and becoming the queen or the goddess, then we've done something. Because our word for this last year was courage. We just discussed the word fearless, but we realized there's no such thing as fearless. We're all frightened all the time. We just do things to cover it. And that truly the word for the year was courage. And that courage isn't about being on a SWAT team, facing down someone with a gun. Courage is taking chances with your own health, being the person who's in charge, saying no to the doctors, or yes, taking charge of your own life, helping a friend with the same problem, and also just getting up every single day and putting one foot in front of the other and being the best daughter, the best mother, the best sister, the best friend that you can possibly be. That takes courage, especially in times like this when, with the economy the way it is and all this bullying, which happens and has happened all the time. We just need to be courageous, show up, be the best women that we can be for ourselves and for the women around us. And if we do that, then we really have done something. So I'm thrilled to be here. And I know Cindy is too, and I'd never let her talk. Although if you meet her later, we're going to be signing books downstairs, then I don't talk. Then Cindy does. We're thrilled to be here. The thing that makes me laugh and smile the most, and it's just extremely silly, and it's embarrassing when my boyfriend leaves the room, is America's Funniest Home Videos. The babies and the animals. When those babies sit in their high chairs and blow that big bubble of snot out their nose, in and out and in and out, I laugh until I cry. There's that video of that little cat that's caught on a ceiling fan, swinging around and around like that. I laugh until I cry. And you know what? It feels so good and I feel like I'm healing. So let's just laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh.
Crowning ceremony here again. It's a handmade crown. It's really exquisite again, just with you in mind, from Patty Cuspida, and for your partner in crime, who has one story. We were saying, have you ever had something that was so utterly embarrassing, that was so mortifying in your life, that it took you several decades before you could begin to laugh about it? Well, we understand that Cindy has one.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
All right. When I was, we call this the day I weighed 110. Now, I always had a weight problem all my life. It really wasn't a weight problem, it just was who I am. I'm a larger woman most of the time. But I had gone to this doctor in New York City and I fasted. It was the original protein sparing fast, where you drank this pre-digested protein. And that's all you drank. And I did it for 5 months. And I lost a ton of weight, and one day I weighed 110. And on that day, my diet doctor made a pass at me. I auditioned for the Playboy Club, and I answered an ad that said, "Models wanted, no experience necessary." And I'm going to make this short by just telling you that when Vanessa Williams had to give up her crown because she had been compromised in some photos, I understood. And I felt sorry for her. And I understood how a woman can maybe just want to be pretty for just a moment and do stupid things and then never be able to be president. So that was the day that I weighed 110. I immediately left the photo session after realizing I had made an egregious error that I could never take back. Ate a hamburger, gained 50 pounds, and I was fine for the rest of my life.
I just want to add that there was no full frontal nudity involved in these pictures, and that later, when we saw her shots on the cover of the pornographic books, the paperbacks in the bookstore, she just looked cute. And Once Upon a Bond and Flying High with Lust, you know, you might still have copies of those books, but that's Cindy. That's Cindy. So, there you go.
Cindy, that it's perfect that we have a little television there because you've been caught on candid camera. Thank you. We would not have the grace of knowing you both if it wasn't for our artist. Chris Roberts Antio is a favorite of this museum. Chris, please stand up. You see the beautiful illustration of the master. you.